What's up, my upper echelonians? Y'all make sure y'all hit that subscribe button for me. And y'all hit that like and that share button. And then we about to get to this work right here. Terrence Crawford fumbled the A side. Yes, 39-0. Terrence Crawford fumbled the A side. He could have been the big fish. And let me explain this. Terrence Crawford was undisputed in the 140 division, right? So after becoming undisputed in the 140 division, Terrence Crawford came up to the 147 division. He got a fight with Jeff Horn, became champion. Yes. Okay. Now, Earl Spence was in an accident. Terrence Crawford was on Top Rank. He had a chance to sign to the PBC 2018. If he got with the PBC, he would have got the chance to get put into the fighter sweepstakes. He would have had a chance to fight Porter, Garcia, everybody. Because the PBC, they don't just hold fighters up. Like Adrian Broner said, they want you to fight Godzilla over there. Yes, if you want a PBC, you're going to fight. You're going to get their money's worth out of you. But they're going to pay you handsomely. But Crawford likes sitting over there with Top Rank and their matchmakers and getting that guaranteed money. He don't even know about back-end money. But, you know, that's what he was comfortable with. But that's one way Crawford could have been the A side. But the biggest way, Crawford, he had a fight with Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao. Now, if you look at Earl Spence's pay-per-views, his biggest one is in the threes, right? Keith Thurman and Manny Pacquiao did 500 plus pay-per-view. Now, Terrence Crawford had that fight. And Terrence Crawford, he's about as big as Keith Thurman or bigger. Some might argue. So, if Terrence Crawford would have fought Manny Pacquiao instead of pulling out the fight and doing stuff weird like he was doing with the Earl Spence fight before he finally took the fight, Terrence Crawford fights Manny Pacquiao. He's a certified pay-per-view star. He gets the A side. Boom. Because he got the biggest pay-per-view. He got a 500 plus pay-per-view Pacquiao. So, he leads the negotiations versus Spence. But Terrence Crawford didn't do that. Terrence Crawford didn't fight Pacquiao. Terrence Crawford's career is tailor-made and picked, catching fighters in their downward stroke. When if he would have fought Manny Pacquiao, Terrence Crawford would have been A-side to everybody in the welterweight division right now. Yes. And if Terrence Crawford would have came over here and fought Sean Porter and everybody that Earl fought at the PBC, he could have been A-side as well. Not to mention, while Earl Spence was in a car accident and in the eye injury, Terrence Crawford had the same amount of fights as Earl in the last 4 years. Yes, they got the same amount of fights. So instead of progressing yourself while the man was hurt, you sat around twiddling your thumbs, holding your belt, waiting on Earl Spence so you can get that payday. When Yordenis Ugas asked you to unify, that would have gave you 2 belts and Earl would have had 2 belts. But by reason of comparison, you would have had a leg up because you were formerly undisputed. You was a 3-belt champion. So that would have tipped the scales in your favor. But you didn't. You had 1 belt. And you was comfortable with that 1 belt. And you was comfortable with that 1 belt and hollering at Earl Spence and his team. That's what you and your team did. And y'all felt like it was okay to do that. But even though Crawford fumbled the A side, he still got the A side back by being the puppet master in the negotiations. Crawford and his team, yeah, they puppet masters. Earl Spence once said his dream is to be the first ever undisputed champion of the welterweight division. Well, bingo, that's all Bud Crawford had to hear. So Bud Crawford sat back with his 1 title and held it and made sure he avoided the pitfalls of the division. Like, he first got to the division, said he wanted to fight Keith Thurman. If Bud would have took that Keith Thurman fight, that might would have gave him leverage and made him A-side over Earl, because him and Keith Thurman probably would have been a huge fight. But it didn't happen, so we banking off wishes. But Bud wasn't going to take a fight that was dangerous, because Bud felt like he done did all this and he has never been paid his right amount of money, and he was not about to take a fight or any fight that would jeopardize him losing that sweepstakes called the Earl Spence sweepstakes, because there's 4 sweepstakes winners in the boxing. You got the Deontay Wilder sweepstakes, you got the Canelo Alvarez sweepstakes, the Tank sweepstakes, and the Earl the True Spence sweepstakes. That's why everybody call these people names, because they know when you fight them, you get a bag. And Terrence Crawford, he has a 39-0 record with the belt that Earl won, and it's a legacy fight. And the fact that he's fighting Earl last for everything, for undisputed, they both undefeated. This is what puts the icing on the cake. This is what makes this fight that much bigger. So yeah, Terrence Crawford, he fumbled the A side, but he had a hidden piece, and that hidden piece he had, Earl needed. And Terrence Crawford knew that, like a puzzle, if you had a 1,000-piece puzzle and you've only had 999 pieces, that one piece is going to drive you crazy because you can't complete your puzzle. And they played chicken, and Terrence Crawford took it to the extreme. He went over an extra year, and when it seemed like Earl was past the fight, Terrence Crawford finally agreed to it because of the pressure from his family and his kids. And Earl gave Terrence Crawford really A-side money and A-side deal, because if not, he wouldn't have got the fight. So Earl was able to secure the bag, and Terrence Crawford was able to secure A-side money and status that he had fumbled. Yeah. This is your boy Upper Echelon, man. Y'all hit that like, share, subscribe button. And this is how Terrence Crawford fumbled the A side, but hell, being a puppet master, he got it back. I'm out.